podcast, and we bring it to you. Every time we turn live, man, you know it's the truth. Every after show, get it down. It's the time to move around. No Gimmicks podcast is going down. Every night, every time in the ring. This is time for no gimmicks. No, we doing our thing. What's your state of mind? State divine. Moving down a statement when we take the line. This is exactly wrestling the state design. When you see Stone Cold like me, with the stunner in the world, exactly, man, what we bring. Every night we move like Brock Lesnar. The F5, no gimmicks. We take you to your limit. What's the feeling? When we live in the air, you know we on. It's the time. Guarantee we move. You know how we respond. The state is mine. The state design when we feel it. Moving down, what's the healing? No gimmicks is the feeling.
What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the No Gimmicks podcast here on the DFPN. We got a great show laid out for you guys tonight. We have not only my co-host tonight, the Dark Lord himself, D Vader. What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm just chilling. You feel me?
Listen, I hope you appreciate this shit.
Oh, so you dress up? So you dress up as a Jedi?
Yes, I donned.
You see, I was gonna get suited up, and then I'm like, well, I was gonna do Michael Myers.
That would have been fire.
Yeah, but I ain't probably doing all that, so I said, fuck it.
All good, man. All good. Welcome back. We got a couple of guests with us tonight from the USDN podcast. First and foremost, the owner and chairman of the Council of Nerds himself, a great writer, a staunch researcher, and somebody who's doing some great shorts on how to pick up some great comic books. He's got his shorts series running now. Mr. Jeffy Jeff, what's up with you, man?
What is going on? You're going to make me blush. I am rocking the Rebels t-shirt tonight, and I topped it off, or bottomed off. I don't know how to put it, but I got my BJ pants with the Star Wars on it too.
I got the full ensemble on, and it's hot, bro. Like,
dude, Jedi robes don't breathe. They don't breathe, bro.
This gonna be a quick show.
I don't want to hear about how hot you are.
Oh, I know,
right?
I know.
I just dress up as Vader the other day.
Yeah,
yes, you did. So this is why I'm dressed up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I owe him one. So,
did you get the cooling system for the Vader suit?
No, I haven't gotten it yet. I'm waiting for. I got some other. I got another armor and helmet set coming, so that's what I'm gonna do. That till then, I'm just winging it.
Right on. So let me get to my other guests tonight. First time on No Gimmicks. It's been a long time coming, man. We've collaborated on a lot of work. You know him from BCP Plus, the Bob Culture podcast. He's put his foot into the media world. He's slowly taking that over with the BCP Plus online mag that he's got, and he's just an all-around great guy. Please welcome to No Gimmicks, Rob. What is up, brother?
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it, Kelvin. We are breaking into the media, sir, as always, man. And I always appreciate you, man. Just you spearheading stuff with the UFL, some of the wrestling stuff. We're trying to get bigger opportunities too, man. So I always got nothing but love for you, man. I appreciate you having me on. Was that Montezzi on the theme song?
It was.
It's good. I love Montezzi. Actually, almost got to play with him once. A funny story. I'll save that for off air, but that's very, very cool. And also, man, I didn't get the memo, dude. I do have Chewbacca pajamas, like a onesie. So, next time.
You know what? I kept this because it was a show that I told Frank D that I was gonna do it. I didn't want to make it like a whole thing. I was like, last week he donned his attire and I felt bad. So this week I donned my attire. I didn't put the responsibility on anybody else, but
I like it.
Now that you say that, I
talked him into doing a whole show as Vader. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of tonight, I do want to go over something. And it was announced yesterday that WWE launched a WWEID, which is Independent Developmental Program. that they're going to start working with the independents. And what this means is they're going to provide certain talents, not necessarily certain talents, but talents that go through these schools that they have designated with the WWEID. They have a pathway now to get to the WWE. And there were 5 schools named. One of them is here in Texas. So they pretty much have one on every coast. I know they have Knox in Cali. There's Elite Pro, Reality of Wrestling, and then there's one out of Jersey. There's another one out of Jersey. But they are setting up shop in the independents, and it seems on the surface like a great idea. I want to go around the room first. I'm going to start with you, Frank D. What are your thoughts on this WWEID and what this means for the independents?
I mean, on surface, it sounds like a good opportunity and a good idea, right? But then if you do your history, you know that pretty much they're just going to take over the independents and raid them just like Vince did with the territories back in the day. Essentially, what he's doing is locking down, and what I mean by I'm talking about Triple H, TKO. What they're doing is pretty much locking down all the talent. So these talents no longer can go to an AEW or a New Japan or something like that. And you guys have to remember, the WWE already have done this previously with NXT UK when they came in there and they worked with all those independents and didn't do anything with them. You know what I mean? And then pretty much they just devastated the UK market to the point where there's only maybe a handful of wrestling companies out there that's actually popping right now. WWE is going to do what they want and get what they want. So, I mean, it sounds like a good idea. Maybe I'm wrong about this. I don't think I am. But remember, Vince raided all the territories. It was like, go to New York. So what did Vince do? Vince got Hogan. Vince got Ventura. Vince got Mean Gene. He got Bobby the Brain Heenan. All these different cats from all the different territories. Junkyard Dog, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I mean, he raided everybody. And there's only 2 places to go at the point. You can go to Vince or go to Crockett. That was it. Because AWA was no longer a factor. So that's why I think it's just a modern takeover. It's just history repeating itself. Is all it is.
Interesting thoughts. Rob, what you got?
I got a lot of thoughts, man. So just cut me off if you need to, man. Just get the giant cane and pull me off, man. Very interesting. So I got this email yesterday. I got the press release 17 minutes, after it was released. So I posted it. Everyone's sharing it. I see a lot of positive reaction from the indie talent. I see some more insight from maybe some of the journalists. Some people have done their research. So I'm very good, especially in this world, man, where things are like one way or the other, man. I could take off whatever hat and just kind of look at it from both sides, man. I think, man, I'm being very careful what I'm saying here. Through the grapevine and things of that nature, I think I have heard that the NIL program, some of them tryouts as of late may have not been the best. I think that particular program may have rubbed some of the indie wrestlers the wrong way. Not that I don't know if that meant a lot to WWE or not. I certainly can't speak for them, but I think, why not have the actual wrestlers who are training, that know wrestling, that love wrestling, that grew up watching the Hardys and Lita and Undertaker, and they want this. This is their dream. They watch it with their grandma, whatever it was. And they're training at these schools and they're traveling every single weekend. And we're seeing people, and no disrespect, because it's worked out for a lot of people, but people who don't know wrestling or people who are amazing athletes in other ventures. And sometimes it works out great. Other times, apparently not. And I didn't see a lot of mention of the NIL after this. And in the back of my mind, I could just see someone going like, hey, we need to change something. We need to do something. How about this? We have our talent or some of our guys associated with WWE here, and here. Let's get the map. Here's our map, right? What do we got? Iowa. We got what? LA. We got Reality Wrestling. We got Texas, Nightmare in Atlanta, and it's not Jersey. It's actually New Hampshire up there. No worries, man. But think about it. It's just like, it's all the corners, man. Like, it's right there. So to what D was saying, I could definitely see a big strategy in that as well. From the indie talent that I've spoken to, like a lot of them are reaching out to these schools already. You know, they're reaching out like, hey, I can be under a WID. Like, it's almost like I called it NXT college, you know?
Yeah.
Do I know if that's true? No. I've reached out for more information. Anyone I can interview. I don't know if it would be like a Gabe Sapolsky. I don't know. Or a scout. I don't really know. I think it's very limited information. There's definitely a business plan here for no question, you know, and it is great for WWE. I think in terms of just the business hat, it's going to do a lot for WWE and hopefully people who want to be in WWE. There are certain wrestlers that may not want to go to AEW. WWE's been their dream. And you know, people have been going, you know, week in, week out, just grinding on the road, grinding on the indies. I feel like from their perspective, because I'm close to a lot of these indie people in the Northeast, there's a lot of excitement, which is awesome and cool. But with everything, I need to see it firsthand. You know, I can't be quick to judge. I can look at it from both sides. Hopefully, it's a really positive thing. I think the fact that WWE is on paper embracing the independence is really, really cool. Triple H put out a tweet about, you know, these are we have some great people on the independents. Now we're embracing it. Now we have the WWEID program. So I can look at it from both ways, man. I'm very interested. I am very, very interested. I'll put it that way.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. We'll come back to that. Jeff, what you got?
I'm going to agree with both of these guys. I mean, until we really see it in black and white in front of our faces, what it actually means, it's really no way to tell. At first thought, it looks great. I'm super happy for the indie guys that are going to get to participate in this program. But is it a hostile takeover without it looking like a hostile takeover? Like Frank said. So we'll see. It definitely needs to pan out, and I'm looking forward to reading more about it when WWE decides to release more information on it.
Nah, real talk. So I want to go with something that Rob said, and it's something that struck me because before this was announced, there were people that were on this podcast that I know from working with them on this podcast. I've gotten to follow them, and they had just did Reality of Wrestling did a showcase, a Texas showcase this past weekend, where a lot of different, they call them dojos, came and showcased their biggest, brightest talent. After that, it was announced that Reality of Wrestling was a WWEID school, right? The excitement that I've seen from these guys is something that you spoke on, Rob, and it's something that really took me too. Like these guys, it really put a charge on them to where they're ready to work and they're really ready to get their comeuppance. You know what I mean? And just being at a place like Reality of Wrestling, it kind of hit them in a place to where like I just did this show and it could lead me to a WWE opportunity. So on one front, you're seeing a lot of these guys like up their game immediately. A lot of these people start putting out more posts. They're more busy on social media. They're trying to be seen. They're putting out their resume a lot faster now. I'm seeing a lot more of that right off the bat. Just stuff I hadn't seen from a lot of people, I'm now starting to see. So on one front, I'm like, it's doing good because a lot of these guys are getting their names. They are now taking this way more seriously than they ever have, right? Because now WWE is they have their eyes on the independents and they know this. On the other hand, I go back to what Frank D said. We've seen this movie before to where WWE NXT UK, they did this in the UK, and the after effects were very, very damaging to the independent scene in the UK. There aren't a lot of those guys left. Rev Pro is the biggest one that's still around, but there were a lot of independent companies that went under as a result of WWE doing this. So there is cause to worry. And I am on the side of let's wait and see what this does, but be cautious about it as well, because initially I think it is doing some good. Whether you get those people who want to go to WWE and have the WWEID, whether you get them in that system or not, just the fact that everybody's working towards something, it may cause eyes from elsewhere to get put on them that they may not have thought about before this was announced. So
I think
in a good and a bad to it.
I mean, I think the positive thing of it is that, you know, from what I saw in the press release, talking about how they're going to get the mentorship and they're going to get, you know, financially compensated. And because a lot of guys that go through the indies, they don't get paid anything. They sleep in their car, have to share hotel rooms. It's the grind. It's always been the grind. So that part of it, I do like. That part of it is that they're going to have this monetary support. They don't have to struggle. It's almost as if you're going to, as Rob said, college. It's pretty much what it is, because you're doing this college, you know, program. You get this scholarship, right, to work, and then NXT is where you're going to go. That's the next step, is now NXT. It used to be, well, you know, if you're NXT, it's the main roster, but now it's the independents, and the next stop is NXT. Yeah. I like that aspect of it. I like the fact that they're going to try to take care of the guys and gals out there that want to be in the business. But then on the downside, it's a catch-22, right? Okay, so you get in this next or this ID program, you're a part of this, so you can no longer, let's say, take independent bookings. They can pull you because now they control you now. So that's the problem. When you're an independent company that is a part of $1 billion company, you're no longer independent. You're now part of the machine. And once the machine is done with you, they're gonna push you to the side. So that's the catch-22. Because, like, let's just say, for instance, that this doesn't work for me, right? Now, what if I decide, oh, okay, I want to go to AEW? Well, you can't go to AEW. Well, why not? Because you're a part of this. You know, you signed a contract. So is there a no compete clause in this contract? Like, how am I supposed to make any kind of money if this doesn't work out for me? So these are the kind of things that I want to know about, like, as far as the program, like, because you know how WWE is. Yeah. You know, independent.
That's a very interesting. Right? Yeah, that's an interesting question. That really needs an answer to it. So, agreed. All right, gentlemen, let's dive into the meat and potatoes. We got WWE Crown Jewel, the annual event taking place in Saudi this weekend. Stipulations have been added. We're going to get a champion versus champion match. First time ever at Crown Jewel. And the winner gets to leave the Crown Jewel champion. We got championships up on the line. We have storylines that are picking up, heating up. So let's dive into it. We'll go in the first match on the card. Looks like we're going to have a four-way: Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Chelsea Green, and Piper Niven versus Meta 4, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson, who made their main roster debut, and Damage Control. Kicking us off. I'm going to throw this one to you, Jeff. What you got on your prediction first and foremost?
Why'd you have to start with me for? This is one of those where I don't really know. But I'm going to go for the ultimate upset here. I'm going to go with the Metaphors, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson with the upset.
I could see that. Any particular reason why?
The push they've been getting. They've been getting a lot of attention on the main roster here lately. They've been on the main roster lately. I don't see them really pushing them up to that level without some type of plan behind it.
I like it. I like it. I have an idea on that one. D, let's go with you next. What you got?
I'm going to go with Piper Niven and Chelsea Green to take it.
I like that.
I think Jade and Bianca, like, they're cool as a tag team, and I know why they have them together. You know, she can learn from Bianca. That's why they have them together. But man, they need some new blood with this tag division. So I'm looking for a title change here. But we all know that this is nothing more than a glorified house show, is what it is. It just happens to be in Saudi and it's called Crown Jewel. It's pretty much what they're doing here. So I'm gonna go with them too. To because there's a lot more leverage. I mean, I know they got the other ones in there, and there's they're coming up whatever, but that'll be instant heat. So I'm gonna go with them.
Okay, I like that. I am not mad at that pick. Rob, on you, my friend.
I'll be honest, man. This is tough for me. I really have no read on the pulse of this whole thing with Bianca and Jade. I thought I really, really did ever since being in Tampa at the Royal Rumble. Them having that face off, going move for move, flexing on each other, man. I was like, oh, I want to see this, man. And I've been waiting impatiently to see them just face each other. And they lost the titles already, and then they won them back. And I'm just like, I got nothing. It feels like some sort of hard reset. And I don't know where they're going. I hope it's not the one turns on the other or whatever. A lot of people are kind of hinting at Bianca. She's just been doing, first of all, amazing. Arguably one of the best women. I think she was number one in the PWI 2 or 3 years ago. Deservedly so, unquestionably. But maybe it's time for a change with Bianca, just in terms of heel or face. And I hate saying that because she's just so good. I could see Piper and Chelsea getting it. Shameless promo, if I may. Check out our interview over with Chelsea on BCP Plus. She was amazing and a lot of fun. And honestly, one of the nicest wrestlers I've ever met. I'll put it that way.
I've never seen her give a bad interview.
Oh yeah, she wasn't being a Karen. So, and I kid when I say that. She was being very nice. But that being said, I could see her and Piper getting it. The NXT talent, I need a little bit more first before they become champions. But Jeffrey said they've been pushing them pretty hard, so I could see that happening. I have no read on this. I'm going to go with the safe pick, which is usually my dating profile, and I'm going to go Jade and Bianca.
Okay, Jade and Bianca.
Retain.
I am going to... Go ahead.
I'm going to cut you off. Yeah. I'm going to say this real quick when it goes back to Bianca and Jade right quick. I think one of the reasons why, they've kind of reset a little bit with those two. Jade is incredibly over as a babyface. So you kind of don't want to mess that up. Bianca is sometimes you got to do a refresh. And we've seen this. I mean, they did it with Becky Lynch, where Becky Lynch was that babyface, and then she started doing the man gimmick. But the man gimmick didn't really get over until Nia Jax busted her nose. Yep. That's when she got over really big time, where they said, okay, she's tough. You know what I mean? So with Bianca is no different than like what I see with Naomi. Why is Naomi not a heel? Why was Naomi not a part of the original bloodline? That could have done the glow stick is like, it's tired, bro. Like
it's old.
We need to see something, put a fresh coat of paint on this and like change the story a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like with the Street Profits, for instance. I'm going off the rails, but I'm going to start with this. So it's like when the Street Profits were with Bobby Lashley, okay, and we thought we were going to get the Hurt Business Part 2, right? And then they just completely dropped it, and now the Street Profits, nowhere baby faces. It's time to turn somebody, like do something different. And I mean, they had something there when they were coming out with the suits on or whatever. They pretty much were the Hurt Syndicate, pretty much before the Hurt Syndicate.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying with Bianca and Jade. I think they're holding off on this until WrestleMania. I really do believe that. I think that's where you're going to see the first match between these two. You're going to drag it out a little bit more, but eventually somebody's going to turn on somebody. Or you can do it straight up babyface versus babyface, but that don't really work. Jade was a pretty good heel in AEW. She was a good heel to the point where she got over, and they were cheering her. Even when she come out there and say, I'm that bitch, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. We've seen that act before. It's kind of ran its course a little bit. And I think it's more money with Jade, honestly, as a babyface, because people love her. She's really good with the kids. She's, Bianca, on the other hand, Bianca can use that to change. Bianca could be that person that turns Montez Ford. on Angelo Dawkins. You can see a real power couple here if they do it correctly. But hey, I digress.
If they do it correctly is the statement here. And I don't think they will. Because if it goes how I think it's gonna go, my pick is that Jakara and Lash are gonna win this match. They're gonna be the tag team champions. This will eventually lead to Jade and Bianca versus those two to get their belts back. And in that match, I think Jade's going to turn on Bianca. And then she'll have her baddies again in WWE.
The two baddies could be the two NXT girls.
Yep.
I can see that.
I think that it looks like that's where they're going. I'm not
or
gonna say that is where they're going. It looks
or what if they swerve you and it's Bianca with the baddies?
I wouldn't be mad. I'd take that.
Bianca is like not what she. It's kind of like what I said about Cody Rhodes. It's not what he's portraying himself to be. Bianca, it's not what she. She's not that role model like you think she is. Like, look, okay. Look at Bayley. You remember she was a hugger and all that? She was doing all that. And then she finally, it flipped and she had a career renaissance, the second birth or whatever.
Yep.
That's what can happen with her, with Bianca. I don't know. I'm the heel here. I just want to see, I want to see some, I want to see him turn heel. That's what we all need a good heel turn nowadays. You know what I mean? Yep. And we haven't had with the women.
We haven't had one in a while.
Yeah. We haven't had that with the women. Like the only one we've had recently was, who was it? I mean,
Roxanne Perez.
Braun Breaker was already a heel, anyways. But as far as but that's like, no one cares, bro. We're talking about the main roster, so we need something on the main roster.
And I had one, and we've all been begging for a Bianca heel turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like we were begging for a Bayley one when then they finally pulled the trigger. It was
the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And they teased something, like I said before, when they were doing that little thing they were doing, and Bayley beat Naomi, and they had the little backstage segment. I could swear I thought Naomi was going to turn on her, like that was leading something, and it didn't lead anything. Now she's back out there shucking and jiving and glowing.
Naomi had that smile when she was walking, like that annoyed smile. It was perfect.
Yeah, and why haven't they put Nia and Naomi? They are family. They are the bloodline, technically.
Yeah. I've been wanting that for a minute. Give me a female version of the bloodline.
Yep. And wouldn't that be the ultimate betrayal of Naomi turning on Jimmy? Like Solo wanted to really get back at Jimmy, so he, yeah. I don't know, man. My creative mind's always going.
That's cold. I like it.
That's cold and dirty. You imagine the heat that would get?
Yes.
Be an awkward Christmas this year.
Let's work our way there. There. So next match we got is LA Knight versus Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. This is kind of a throwaway for me, but Rob, what you got for this one?
Yeah, it's interesting how we got here, them having those series of matches. I think Styles was in the fold at one point. I'm watching that go down with Styles, and I'm like, ooh, like that looks legit. And sure enough, he's been off TV. So get well. I'm assuming it's a legit injury. So get well, AJ Styles, first and foremost, man. That was what a bummer to see that. But man, I don't think LA Knight is dropping the time. Man, I hate going on podcasts and going, oh, it's too soon and blah, blah, blah. But it's too soon. Like he's just won the championship not too long ago. And I think he just needs to establish himself as a dominant singles competitor, which he has, but even more so. Should be a really, really good match. Sometimes multi-mans get a little tricky. They're going to do some crazy stuff. They're going to hit their spots. They're going to lay it all on the line. But at the end of the day, I think we're going to get LA Knight winning this and going on to the next challenger for the U.S. Championship.
Nice. Frank D, what you got?
I have to agree with Robert. I think it's going to be LA Knight retaining. There's no point for LA Knight to drop it right now, especially because, like I said, man, Crown Jewel it's not really that important of an event. I mean, it's a house show. It's a house show. So if you want to have a title change, it'll probably happen at Survivor Series. you know, because I mean, this is just pretty much their Saudi obligation. That's all it is. The real show is going to be Survivor Series. This and it is what it is, and that's So I'm going to go with LA Knight retaining until he finds a more suitable person to take him off. I would love personally. They're now on the same roster, but I would have loved to see an LA Knight and Carlito feud personally for the U.S. title. I think that could have worked.
Interesting. You know what, man? I'm gonna pick LA Knight on this one, but I have not been his reign so far. I think he's gotten lost under the shuffle over at SmackDown, especially with what they're doing with the Bloodline. The Bloodline has been prevalent. If you compare his reign to what they did with Logan Paul's reign, like it's night and day. And I don't get it what is going on with LA Knight. It's like he's built himself up. He should be in a higher position. But okay, you got the Bloodline storyline. I get it's not going to trump that, but it just hasn't clicked for me. His title reign on the U.S. side so far, it just hasn't. I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. I don't love how he's been used as the U.S. champion, particularly if you have Andrade and Carmelo Hayes in a best of 7 series to face you for the title, and he's on the back burner this entire time. He hasn't had a match. And it's like, okay, if you want me to be invested in this guy is gonna face LA Knight, because that series was a solid series. Yes, you put a lot into Carmelo Hayes. You kind of built him up a little bit, but in the end, I'm getting a triple threat. So, and I'm getting a triple threat against a guy who hasn't had a match in a while. And, he hasn't really cut any promos or anything. He's just kind of there. And like, why? Why are we doing this? In my head, I'm like, why are we doing this match?
You know what? You know what's funny? I think that honestly, the momentum is gone for LA Knight. LA Knight is no longer special anymore, is what it is.
I hate thinking that, but that
is exactly what it is. Like okay, so I think you guys will agree with this. What we're seeing right now is once again, we're talking about earlier with the ID program. This is history repeating itself. The dominant storyline in all of WWE is the Bloodline. No different than the dominant storyline in WCW was the NWO. So the NWO trumped everything else that was going on. It didn't matter if you were the U.S. champion, the TV champion, the tag team champions. Did not matter. The main story was the NWO, Hogan, Sting, whatever they were doing. And all the lower card guys suffered from that. They weren't getting the reactions that the NWO were getting. LA Knight was super over at one point. Now he's not. He had a match with Roman Reigns. That necessarily didn't do him any favors. People say all the time back in the day, like, well, where, I know I'm going off here, but it'll make sense in a second. People say all the time, like, well, what happened to Bray Wyatt, right? You know what happened to Bray Wyatt? John Cena's what happened to Bray Wyatt. When he wrestled John Cena, it killed his momentum. He never recovered from John Cena. That's what happened to him. No different than Wade Barrett never recovered from John Cena. You guys remember SummerSlam 2010? The Nexus versus WWE? That was, so that's what we're seeing here. And on top of that, I got to say, when you're out there cosplaying as The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then the real Rock shows up, Yeah,
your thunder kind of leaves.
Yep. So, and remember, that's when LA Knight's thunder started, his momentum started slipping away. So when The Rock came back, because you got exposed, buddy.
And that is kind of true. But I compare, so we were at Royal Rumble last year. And for the better part of the Royal Rumble, like this guy's name just kept getting called throughout the Royal Rumble. Like, from that to where we are now is like, it's like, what happened? But, and you got a point there. It's like,
but
once the Rock came back, it did kind of fizzle out and he didn't really recover.
But but I also have something else on that too, right? Like people think things have changed so much. LA Knight wasn't supposed to get over. LA Knight got over on his own. You never get over on your own against the wishes of the office. So when you do that, they'll let you act like you're this and that. They're gonna pull the rug from under you, man. And that could be what happened there as well. Because let's be honest, the U.S. Championship doesn't mean nothing. It means absolutely nothing. It's just a placeholder. It means nothing. And I think that without suitable opponents, I'm sorry, but Carmelo Hayes is not on the level yet. Andrade is not on the level either. I mean, Andrade, you got to build him back up to be in that level. To have we're having a best of 7 series to face. No one cares a crap about any of these guys. I'm just being honest. I'm not knocking them. It's just the way they're presented. No one cares. So if you're facing people that no one cares about, then it's irrelevant. Bronson Reed, they built this guy up. The guy is a monster. Did you guys see the segment on Monday night with him and Seth Rollins? The guy is a monster. This guy was doing nothing. And look at how they have booked him. The second coming of Bam Bam Bigelow. The second coming of King Kong Bundy is what Bronson Reed is. That's what I see.
Yeah. You're right. Before we get there, Jeff, what you got?
I'm glad you asked. I'm going to go backstage politics and say Andrade takes this title.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Wait. Did you just say backstage politics?
I can't see that one.
Is that no? Wait,
I didn't say tits. I said politics.
I thought you said backstage politics. I thought you were talking about Charlotte Flair, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, she plays a role in this. I mean, but
that's why I swear I thought you said tits, bro. My bad.
I like where you're going with this D, but I said politics, not tits. But Andrade's basically a Flair, and Andrade will get the belt.
That's a hard scenario for me. I mean, if it happens, I won't be mad at it either.
I'm just saying, and why put this guy on TV? Because to be fair, he hasn't been that great since he came back, and he needs a voice, and he doesn't have a voice right now.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Then it's almost like why go through this best of 7? You know what I mean? And that's
well, TV time. TV time.
What else?
You got to have them doing something.
Yeah.
And people have been, and the thing about it is, they have been trying for many, many years now to repeat that best of 5 that Booker T and Chris Benoit had in WCW.
No, you ain't never going to get that.
You're never going to top that. Even Booker and Chris couldn't do it again in WWE. You know what I mean?
True.
That's what's going on here. But I don't know. Like Jeff's talking about here with Andrade. I think the promos is a major reason why he's not getting the push, because and that's like, come on, this is why we have managers. Give him a manager. There has to be somebody on the roster not doing anything you can put with him to be his mouthpiece out there to talk. Or even why not? What's that?
You can't right now, because the backlash would be incredible. But the one person that should be doing it ain't doing it.
Well, who's the back? What would be the backlash?
It's Zelina Vega, but
it's not going to be Zelina.
Yeah, it's not going to be Zelina. It should be, but it won't be.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
No, she's wanting to focus on her in ring. So,
yeah, that's another one. You remember how Zelina? Damn, man, you just brought something up there. I remember when Zelina Vega. Remember when they went to Puerto Rico and Puerto Rico here, and they went down there, and she was over like crazy, and they didn't pull the trigger.
She's over now with the Chancla.
And
she's over.
She's over. But she's just another one.
Yeah.
Lost in the shuffle. Just a body out there to fill up TV time.
Yep. But let's keep it moving though. You mentioned Bronson Reed. Let's do this one. Rob, I'll kick this one to you first. Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed.
Yeah, this is a match where I don't even know if we're going to get through the entrances. I think it's going to be a very hot start. From the looks of it, it looks like they might go. I mean, I know it's not a falls count anywhere. I don't think anything like that, but it looks like they might be traveling around outside the ring a little bit. They kind of addressed Seth Rollins, and they've been talking a lot about this over on Busted Open, shameless promo, but about him kind of unlocking that, I don't want to say evil, but that Seth Rollins of old, the little more fired up Seth Rollins, the less, the less fashionable, the less giggly sing-along song time with Seth kind of thing, the cackle, all that. Now I think we're going back into that. So is this the match to solidify that? Is this the match to kind of bring Seth back to what he was? Or is this kind of a nice, I don't want to say obstacle, a nice milestone for Bronson Reed's career, who they've been pushing? I believe he did lose the last Monster Standing match, right, to Strowman. Technically, he lost, right?
Yep.
So shout out to a lot of our guys up here in the Northeast, all the security guards that we're very familiar with. I want to shout them out for sure. Doing a great job taking those high flying big men a lot. So shout out to everyone on the independents who were part of that. I just think maybe I'm way off base on this, it's all for naught if Bronson Reed doesn't win here. I don't want to be like Seth can take the L, but Seth can take the L. And I think this is just a big payoff for all of that with Bronson, especially because he lost to Braun. Like I said, it doesn't hurt Seth. Hopefully Seth will finally move on to CM Punk. And we'll see what's next for Bronson Reed IC title shot. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to go Bronson Reed.
All right. I like it. Jeff?
There's no point in building Bronson Reed unless he's going over in this match. Seth can take the L, like Rob said. And I really want to see Seth move to CM Punk. And honestly, Bronson Reed move up the card, get himself a singles title, and let that dude just be a fucking monster that he is.
Okay. I'm going to copy and paste here. I think it's all for naught if he loses this match.
Yep.
Remembering that he got where he is by destroying Seth Rollins. That's how we're here. So if he can't beat Seth Rollins in a match, but he destroys him elsewhere, it kind of kills it for me. And I think it kind of kills his run in the process. Right? So I need him to win this match. I'm going to pick him to win this match. I think we do get that Seth that is gonna go back to the ways of old, but I think he needs to lose to see that he really needs to tap into it. Because we're starting to get that part of him again. I think he needs this L to take it seriously. He can take the L and come out on the other end of it stronger. If we get a banger of a match to where he loses and it makes him look at himself, I'm satisfied with that outcome, honestly. And yes, move on to CM Punk, because him coming out of this match, unlocking that Seth Rollins and walking right into a CM Punk, take my money, man. Just go ahead and take my money. And you can build up Bronson Reed. He's got that big win under his belt. He marches right in. He doesn't even have to beat Gunther on the first try. Just give me enough to where there's a guy that's breathing down Gunther's neck, right? Someone that he has to take as serious as himself against someone else. You know what I'm saying? So give me a threat to Gunther, who's going to be in this match with Cody. I like what he's done with Cody. I like the promos that he's done with Cody. And if we get something to where him and a Bronson Reed are up against each other, again, take my money. I'm willing to see that. I'm willing to pay attention. I'm willing to be invested in it. Even if you don't go Gunther, him versus Drew is another option, because you got Drew there who just came out of the CM Punk thing. And if Bronson's looking to make his name, make sure you know how tough he is. There's another guy who's been in the battle with another top guy in CM Punk. You can put them together. You can make magic there too. So there's options. There's options for Bronson Reed coming out of this with a win, more so than there are with him losing. Him losing, it kills his credibility, and I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
Frank D?
I totally agree with you here. There's just him. The story of him beating Seth Rollins would mean a whole lot more than him taking the L. And I do believe that we might be seeing the first of two matches between the two. I actually, if it was me, okay, I would actually book these two at Survivor Series and an ambulance match. I would do that. Because Seth has something to prove. Okay, I think that he should. I mean, in a way to do this. I mean, you could beat Seth Rollins clean. Okay, but I'm not sure if they want to do that.
Yeah.
If you don't do it that way, the only way to do this match would be ref stoppage. That's the only way you can do it. Well, Bronson Reed beat him, but didn't really beat him because the referee stopped the match. And basically just shows the brutality of Bronson Reed. Like the guy just went crazy and destroyed Rollins. And then come back basically and say, okay, you know what? This can't continue between you and me. They can either do, you can do an ambulance match, you can do an I Quit match, you can do whatever. But the main goal here is to put Bronson Reed over as a top contender. And if it was me, what I would do is if Bronson Reed beats Seth at Crown Jewel, immediately afterwards, I would have Bronson Reed go after Cody. That's what I would do. And just start something there. Come out there and just destroy Cody Rhodes. Because what he does is you give Cody, even though they're on two different shows, you give Cody a fresh opponent that he can rock with until the Royal Rumble. Seeing as how the Royal Rumble is now in February, we got some time for him to do some other things. You know what I mean? But my gut tells me that we'll get there, but my gut tells me with Cody, they're going to go Randy Orton somehow. I think they're going to start that. We'll get there though. But yeah. Bronson Reed to beat Seth Rollins.
Okay, I like that, and I like the setup for the segue. Thank you, because the next match on the card is Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, and you kind of hinted towards you think it's going to be pushed in the direction of Cody. I do think we're going to go that route, and I think this match is going to lead there.
Yeah, and the thing about it too is like I saw a video someone posted. I don't know where it was at though. I think it might have been Facebook. Someone posted a video of back in the day, the Legacy in the ring, and it was some kind of swerve they did with Dusty Rhodes, and Randy, was in front of Dusty and hugged him or whatever, and then he RKO'd him, and it was that. It made me think about just how sadistic a character heel Randy Orton was in 2010 with the bald head, just maniacal. That's the Randy Orton that I want to see. But I don't think at this point in his career, Randy can do that anymore. Because once again, you get to the point where you just don't want to boo somebody. It's hard for that person to be a heel. Randy is just damn over. And that's the problem when somebody is that over, it just shows like you haven't created any new heels. Because this guy he's that over. You can't turn him. You can do Kevin Owens. But then Kevin Owens, the way I'm looking at Kevin Owens is he's kind of justified. Like, I don't trust Cody Rhodes. He's unhinged. So I don't know.
Who you got?
I'm gonna. It's gonna be a DQ, bro. I can't see them. This match doesn't serve a purpose. You can't. No, you can't do this because if somebody's got to lose, right? But they're both world champions, so that's the problem. Now, what's the alternative? Okay, the alternative is this. The alternative is Goldberg. Goldberg interfering and costing.
Are you talking about? No, I'm talking about who's winning out of Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kevin Owens versus Cody. Wait. Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. That's the match.
Yeah.
I did not know that. My bad. Went off on a tangent. I did not know that. I don't keep up with the shit. Okay, so Kevin Owens, Randy Orton. I saw the segment on SmackDown with Triple H. That was interesting. That was a very interesting segment with in the back, the screen. Seeing Triple H come up with his music and all that. Like, who but okay. Who told him to cue the music? Come on. The music starts. Okay. When the music starts, come out there, Trips. That's a hard one, dude. You just turn Kevin Owens heel. But somebody's gonna lose.
Yep.
Damn. What did Triple H say? He says you basically better watch your back. Okay.
At all times.
Destroy. God, I don't want to say I'm not a Kevin Owens fan, dude. I'm not, but I gotta say Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has to destroy Randy Orton. He has to. He cannot lose. Like, if you're trying to push Kevin Owens to Cody, okay, most likely probably Survivor Series, right? Most likely. He's got to be Randy Orton.
He has to.
He has to.
He has to.
He can't lose this early on in this new character he's doing.
Okay. I also will say Kevin Owens wins this match. And they planted a very interesting seed on SmackDown. When Trips came out there and he told Randy Orton, he said, I've never seen this side of Kevin before. And he said, because he trusted you and Cody, and he feels like you both let him down. And he said, normally he does this for money, and you can understand his motive. You can understand why he did some of the things he did, because at the end of the day, it was all to feed his family. This is the first time that we've seen something personally affect him enough that he is pissed off legitimately and he wants to hurt somebody because he feels like they let him down. And if you play the whole entirety of why Kevin Owens is mad, they've alluded to this on Busted Open too. Kevin Owens has been one of the biggest fighters against the bloodline. Since their formation, one of their biggest antagonists has been Kevin Owens. So the fact that he feels like Cody Rhodes has let him down and Randy Orton has let him down. And remember, Kevin Owens is fighting the bloodline. Never stopped. The one thing that may drive him over the edge is if Sami Zayn rejoins the bloodline. And then you have that old rivalry resparked. But the fact that he doesn't trust Cody and the fact that he turned on Cody, and he hasn't really given us a reason yet, is something to pay attention to, especially as we get towards Survivor Series. Because this match that Cody's in is a cover, ladies and gentlemen. But the seed was planted to where a devastating tree is about to grow. So it's worth keeping your eyes on. But for this match, I do think Kevin Owens goes berserk. And I do think he beats the crap out of Randy Orton. So, Jeff, what do you got?
Y'all both have very interesting points. And I think Kevin Owens is going to beat the living shit out of Randy Orton. And I think coming out of that, we're going to get a Randy Orton heel because he needs a heel turn. We need that legend killer Randy that's punting dudes' heads. We need that dude. He's going to get cheered. They're going to sing a song. Not a big deal, but we need him to be a heel. Now, my question is this. What did KO see Cody doing that drove him to jump him in the parking lot? Because he alluded that he said, y'all don't know Cody. Or he said something along those lines in that interview that he did in the hotel room that he was in. He alludes that he's seen something. So what was it?
We still don't know what they talked about in that parking lot.
Exactly. So, but yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a match. So those two are gonna beat the shit out of each other. But KO ultimately takes the W on this one.
Maybe he saw Cody talking to a certain wise man.
Yeah, I love the plot thickens. The plot thickens with this, and I love it.
Hold on. Who else was there that night?
Roman was there, of course.
The Rock.
The Rock was there that night.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, he could have saw the interaction. Now, hey, man, why are you talking to The Rock? Something as simple as that.
We know there's camera footage out there, and I'm waiting for that camera footage to drop. And I got a feeling they're going to let somebody like KO drop that footage himself on his social media before it goes viral on WWE social media. You know what I'm saying?
Or he can just politely walk out and tell them to roll the footage.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see
that'll
him
work.
doing politely, but yes.
Roll the footage that won't get played. Just like how they'll turn his mic off.
Yep.
So it looks like, I'll let Rob get his point in, but it looks like a conspiracy here.
It does.
Like
It does.
Yep. It's no coincidence the night The Rock was there, Kevin Owens just beats the crap out of Cody for no reason in the parking lot.
Yep.
Yeah. But I digress. Rob, what you got?
No, well, D's got me thinking that I like that word conspiracy for this, because if you think about it, shutting off the mic, censoring him, he's so frustrated and he's just trying to talk to us. Like, that's actually really interesting point right there. Just I didn't think of it from that point of view necessarily, even though it's right in front of us. That's interesting because, like Jeffrey said, like, what is it that, and that's the fun of it, and they're being very delicate with this, as they should, especially with Randy. If Randy is going to fight Cody at some point, that needs to be special. That needs to be between the two of them. That needs the time and care. We can't just have Randy turn heel, which is, as we all know, it's coming, but it's still going to be devastating because he's having so much fun with the kids. He's signing autographs on air. He's cracking jokes. He's singing his song. Cody's music is playing. Cody's rocking the ring. He's mouthing the words. He's rocking out to Cody's song. Like, he's living his best life. He's enjoying it. He's been taking a lot of L's though too. So this is a very hard one to pick. Again, I need more, man. And they're trying things. They are trying things with the fan footage and the hotel video. And, I see even stuff, obviously we see with the camera angles. I saw a few things at Stand and Deliver in Philly. They were trying some things with the cameras and things like that. So it's really like, hey, let's see what sticks to the wall here. This is very, very interesting. And I think we're going to get some more outside the box storytelling. And I'm into it. I think I'm into it. So I need to know more. I need to know the motivation. I think you guys said it. They're going to be rooting for Randy the whole time. Randy is going to break at some point. He showed a little bit of frustration, as he should. We're not used to seeing peacemaker Randy Orton. We're not used to seeing like rational Randy Orton. So this is very, very interesting. But again, that when he is fighting Cody, that needs to be something special. And they need to pay, not tribute, but pay attention to the history that they have. And I think KO needs to be out of that situation. I'm going to agree with Kelvin in the fact that he says KO is going to go berserk on Randy. KO's maybe a little bit of a loose cannon. But he's almost like fragile in the fact, like, hey, I can't talk. No one's listening to me. Like, listen to me. I have something to say. He could come say something. We could be like, you're right. I heard Kevin Owens has been listening to BCP and No Gimmicks, and he's been listening to Kelvin, and he's hearing all this stuff about Cody, and now KO's getting all paranoid because all the stuff Kelvin's been saying. So who knows what's going on there? But I'll agree that KO's going to go berserk. But for that reason, Randy Orton's wins by DQ because KO will get himself disqualified.
Or they could totally be listening to me and be changing stuff because of what I'm saying.
Probably.
I felt like the last couple of shows they've done stuff to spite me just because I was.
It was good stuff. It was good stuff.
But next match on the card, man. Jeff, you went right.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Next match on the card. Let's skip for a minute because I want this one to be the big one. But Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan, champion versus champion for the crown jewel. Let's go to you, Jeff. What you got?
It's Tiffy time.
Oh,
I see a cash in, and I think it's on Nia Jax. After Nia shunned her over the last couple of weeks, Tiffy's about to clock in on Nia Jax after Liv Morgan beats her due to, what's her name? Raquel Rodriguez, or is that her name?
Yeah.
Sorry, she just came back and I'm having a hard time remembering her name.
That's not good.
Yeah. Well, I think it's Braun Strowman's fiance, to be fair.
Is she
but
really?
I think so. But I'm not 100% positive on that. But yeah, Liv Morgan will get the W in the big shiny ladies crown jewel belt. Tiffy time happens, and yeah, maybe Tiffy strikes a deal with Liv and Raquel.
She has been on the Raw for a while.
Yep. And Nia's been pushing that Tiffy button, shunning her and putting her down. And
Okay. Interesting. Frank, what you got?
I mean, if you do a cash in on Nia Jax, then that would make Tiffany Stratton a de facto babyface. So, are they willing to pull the trigger on her being a babyface and feud with Nia Jax? That's going to be the question. So, there's just I mean, there's really nothing to this feud between Liv Morgan and Nia. They just, okay, we're just going to put two champions together and, heel versus heel. Once again, somebody has to lose. So, and the problem is that you have, I mean, yeah, you got Tiffany Stratton going with Nia Jax right now, but Liv Morgan is actually in a feud right now with Rhea Ripley. So, I'm looking like which one's more important. Not to say that Nia and Tiffany are not important, but Rhea in the storyline with her and Liv Morgan is top priority for the female division right now. So in saying that, I could see a Liv Morgan defeating Nia Jax due to a screw up from Tiffany Stratton. That's what I think. I think somehow she's going to accidentally cost Nia the championship. And that point, I think Nia is going to snap on her. Is what I think will happen. So then you can turn Tiffany Stratton a babyface, or you could just have her get laid out and Tiffany cash in on her, and then you turn Tiffany babyface and have her feud with Nia going into Survivor Series.
I like that idea. I'm going to come back to that one. Rob, what you got?
I'm going to double down. Again, I'm stealing everyone's homework, but I'm going to take everything you guys said because this is kind of hard. There's not a lot there between Liv and Nia, like in terms of interactions. There's been a tiny bit, but we know why they're fighting, what they're fighting for. I do think it's Tiffy time. I hate to be like, oh, it's the cash-in, but that's what I see from this match. How it goes down, I'll double down everything you guys said. I'll say Judgment Day interference. I'll say Raquel interference. There's going to be a point where the ref's out, or maybe Nia's outside the ring, and Raquel just kind of gets in her face, and you have that kind of like that standoff right there, and just like like let's go. Nothing happens, but then later in the match it happens. So we got Judgment Day interference. We got Raquel interference, and I'm gonna say what D said. Tiffany Stratton inadvertently, interferes and distracts or doesn't help Nia, because on paper you think Nia would dominate. No disrespect to Liv Morgan, just in terms of on paper and things like that. And we talk about it, Kelvin, all the time. Nia has been doing just amazing work as of late. But this is the story that can be told here. For all those reasons, I do see Nia losing here. Nia could win too, though. Oh man, I think Nia's losing. I don't know if she's going to lose the Saudi title too. I don't know how that works with the cash in. I think you can only cash in for the one. Oh man, I'm gonna go Nia to lose, and then Nia to lose her championship because I just checked the clock and it's Tiffy time.
Strong,
my guy.
Strong. I am going to sort of copy and paste. I do think it's Tiffy time. I think Nia wins this match. But in the course of that, Tiffy is trying to help her and screws up. She still wins, but something happens after the match to where Tiffy does actually cash in. So I could see that scenario. And to Frank D's point, there could be her becoming the de facto babyface because they have sort of had Nia kind of breathing down her neck a little bit, like don't cross me, don't play with me, and that's been the theme for a hot second. Like, listen, you want to make me happy. You want to make me happy because you know what I'm like when I'm angry. And Tiffy is just biding her time and waiting for the right time to make her move. Even though she knows the consequences, she's still willing to do that because the championship means that much to her. So I can't see a scenario where she does it and then Nia's the one breathing down her neck as a result of it.
I mean, Nia's just been intimidating her since Jump Street. And on top of that, just looking at the roster right now, especially on the SmackDown side, they don't really have a top female babyface at the moment because
Bailey. They just turned Bailey.
Well, Bailey's been a babyface.
Well, yeah, but it's been recent. So, but she is the top babyface right now on SmackDown.
Yeah, but
you need more.
You need more. You know. So that's why I'm saying like a Tiffany Stratton would. She can go that way. Like she's a hot chick and she's over. So why not pull the trigger? It just makes more. Because she can be that underdog babyface, but she happens to be gorgeous at the same time. You know what I mean? So you go that route. So yeah.
Kelvin, may I jump in real quick?
Go ahead, man.
Just something I'm thinking, and forgive me if I'm being naive. I'm just thinking back. Has there ever been a women's title change in Saudi? Has there ever been a women's cash-in in Saudi? Because I remember, there were no women's matches, and I think there was the first ever with Natalya, and I want to say Lacey Evans. I'm trying to remember. Yep. Now we have 8 women in the tag match, which is very, very game-changing.
Very balanced card.
Yeah. But I'm just wondering if a women's title has ever changed. I don't remember if a women's title has ever changed over there, if there's ever been a cash in over there. Just things I'm thinking about.
I don't think there has.
I was thinking about that, and I was like, in my head, I was thinking, did Io Sky cash in at Crown Jewel? But I don't think she did. I know she cashed in at a weird event. I don't think it was Crown Jewel.
I'm on it.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I don't remember a cash in ever happening at Crown Jewel. So that was
cashed in at
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam? Okay. But then there hasn't been. I don't think there's definitely not been a title change.
Nope.
So yeah, that could be a historic play. All the more reason why it makes sense happening. So Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Let's move on. Let's throw this one in here now. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther. Champion versus champion. And I'll start this one off. Gunther, to me, is a very, very interesting person. As far as championships go, we've seen him hold the Intercontinental Championship. That championship now has merit to it. We're seeing what he's doing with the World Heavyweight Championship, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It has merit. It's meaning something. However, with this crown jewel, I think Gunther has a chance to cement himself as one of the, if not the top guy, with a win over Cody Rhodes at this. That being said, Cody Rhodes, since he's returned to WWE, has a 97% win percentage. It's at 97%. The man rarely loses. It's going to be incredibly hard to beat him at Crown Jewel. I do think he gets the job done. I wanted this match since Royal Rumble of last year. I do think it's going to be an excellent match based off what I seen then. I do think Cody gets it done, but I do absolutely think that Gunther walks out of this match with more under his belt than what he walked into it. He's not going to lose his championship. He's just going to not get the crown jewel, which in the grand scheme of things, it's okay. But showcasing what you are and what you are against Cody Rhodes, who is the top guy right now in WWE, I think this is going to put him on a whole new pedestal. It's going to put him in a whole new league, and I am ready to see this match, honestly. So with that, I'll kick it to you, Rob. What you got?
Yeah, very, very interesting. This is almost my lock of the night. I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm not going to say it, though, that it's a lock of the night, but I think it just has to be Gunther for so many reasons to win this championship. I mean, no question, it's due to some sort of interference, man. You have two of your top champions. You never really, even though we talk about it, they talk about it on Busted Open, you never want to have that 1A, 1B. Like, you never want to say it. You know what I mean? Who's better? And I think Cody, first of all, that big old championship, like, that's just going to go great with what Gunther's carrying already, that world heavyweight championship, hashtag wrestling fashion. But also, I think just Cody has a lot on his plate. He has a lot going on. Stuff with KO we already know about. Orton's kind of like the peacemaker or caught in between, I should say, even. That's a factor. Kelvin, we always talk about Cody's ties to what's going on with the bloodline. There's a lot of moving parts here, whereas Gunther is handling business. Who got in his face? Damian Priest not too long ago got in his face, like, hey, I'm not going to start any trouble. I just want to tell you when it's time, I'm going to take back what's mine or whatever. And Gunther's just kind of like, all right, and walks away, like the complete no sell, which I love, and he's doing his thing. His promos have just gotten so good. He was told to lose a ton of weight and get in shape. Okay. He's incredible. And he puts on great matches. Like, what is his finisher? All of the finishers. Like, he's so good. And I think this is actually going to be a great match. I almost wish this was for like a WWE regular title at some point. You have one of the biggest bad guys right now and one of the biggest baby faces facing each other right now. Yes, Cody on paper is a baby face, Kelvin. But I think it's just going to be a really good match, and I'm going to be so disappointed. Like, I'm going to be like, ooh, this could be a match of the year. Ooh, this is a really good match. Ooh, I like what they're doing here. Oh, they're telling a story. And then there's going to be a schmosh finish. I'm like, I hate just when the matches are so good and it has a funny ending that always infuriates me. But we're telling a story here. I hate to admit it, but it's the perfect place for a smosh finish. Gunther's going to win here due to some sort of interference. We also have Ludwig Kaiser, but Gunther seems to handle business by himself. But I think Gunther wins this one here. I'm going to say I'm 90% on that.
90%. That's high, bro. Jeff, what you got?
The only way Cody loses this is through outside interference, either from the bloodline, Ludwig, KO, maybe even Randy Orton, but they're not going to let their money-making babyface not win this unless it's shenanigans. That's what I got.
I agree with that. Frank D, what you got?
So I'm going to pick the only obvious finish, and that's going to be outside interference. You can't have Cody lose, and you can't have Gunther lose. Somebody has to lose. So I'm picking interference from both KO, but I'm also picking the unexpected interference from the bloodline. Now, the reason why I am picking this is because I believe at Survivor Series, the bloodline is going to team with Kevin Owens to take on the Usos, Roman Reigns, and Sami Zayn. That's what I think we're going to see. So
that's a bold move.
I think that's where they're going. But I also think we're going to see Goldberg.
God damn, what the guy? Oh.
I think they're going to give Goldberg he wants that one final match, right? Okay, I think if he's there to just put Gunther over, I think it'll do good for Gunther. He can say I beat Goldberg. at Survivor Series. Because I think
That's
they're
the
going to try to
only way
build Survivor
Goldberg would be
Series.
acceptable.
Yeah, I think, and Gunther is the guy who can pull this off. He can make this happen with Goldberg. I mean, they already teased that bad blood. I mean, people thought that Goldberg didn't have any juice left or something. You were proven incorrect at bad blood because
he's got plenty of juice.
There. There's something there. So I'm going to go with that, man. I see a bunch of BS happening for this finish. That's what I see because I can't see Gunther losing. I can't see Cody losing. They got too many cats there to interfere. This is all leading towards Survivor Series anyways. I don't know why they booked this. It's like, that whole saying back in there, who booked this crap?
Because they got a contract that was with Vince
this?
McMahon to make, God, I think they made $1 billion off this.
Oh, I know. I know. No, I know why they're doing it. I just don't understand why they would do it. Like, why would you could have this show. No one's disputing that part. But why put both champions in there? Especially when, Gunther has a reputation of like not getting beaten. Cody is a strong champion, but not been too impressed, honestly, with his run, if I have to be honest about it. But this is a placeholder event to tell the story. So I see Goldberg. I honestly see Goldberg, and I see Kevin Owens getting involved in this. I honestly do. And I see the bloodline interfering here because, yeah, you put Cody on that team. Cody, Sami Zayn, Roman, the Usos versus the bloodline. So with Kevin Owens at it, which is that'd be a different kind of a wrinkle here. If Kevin Owens aligns with the bloodline, that's an interesting story here because it's the exact reverse, and then you can do that Sami Zayn KO feud, but now it's like opposing sides here. Because the story would be, why are you with the bloodline, Kevin Owens? You've been fighting them the whole time. Why are you with them? Well, you can't beat him, join him. And you seem to be wanting to trust Cody Rhodes. So, yeah.
10 out of 10, I don't like the idea of Goldberg showing up.
Oh, I understand.
Fucking hate it. Jesus Christ.
But I don't like it either. But here's the thing. They promised Goldberg a retirement match. And I think Triple H wants to honor that. That's why he was at Bad Blood. I mean, Goldberg did a bunch of interviews where he was knocking WWE for a little while.
Yeah, just last month.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Actually, so now earlier this month.
Bring him on here. I think the only person, honestly, that would be mad other than you and Jeff would probably be Bret Hart. So.
I mean, he was on. So Bret Hart was on earlier this month, and Goldberg was on just after him.
Right. So, wouldn't that be some crazy shit if Gunther got help and it was Bret Hart who helped?
Jeff, what you got, man?
I already went, dude.
Did you?
Yeah.
Who am I on?
We're on the last match, bro.
Yeah, I think we're
good.
got everyone.
Let's do it then. It's the only match that really, out of all of this, because you're right. It's they kind of threw this together. And they kind of made it a little more special with, all right, we'll bring our champions. Our champions will have a match. And, we'll make some sort of stipulation to make this work. I like that they threw an actual story on here, honestly, because it does hit. So we got Roman Reigns and the United Usos versus the Bloodline. And I'm going to say something.
Do it.
I'll say my thought.
Do we lose you, Kelvin?
Yeah, we lost you.
Frank D, what you got?
Oh, it got choppy.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay. So I like the story they're telling with the Usos. Big pop. That was epic. Jimmy and Jay reuniting on SmackDown. Epic. Roman watching in the background. Epic storytelling. Do not like the idea of this match.
Here.
Do not like the idea of this match. I don't like it. I think it's too soon. I don't like it. I just no, because the bloodline, they've been taking some L's lately. You know what I mean? And I think if you have the Usos and Roman beat them at Crown Jewel, why do I need to watch this again for Survivor Series? What's the point of having war games? Well, you've already proven you can beat them. So what's the point of okay? No. The only saving grace of this situation here, this is just a prediction. Not saying it's going to happen. I think that this would be the perfect time to debut Hikuleo. And you put Hikuleo in there at Survivor Series for the Bloodline. You don't even have to go the KO route. You can put Hikuleo in there. I think the KO thing goes. I think the KO situation is intriguing because now I can't even trust Sami Zayn because you're siding with them. You're no different than Cody and Randy. So they can tell that story here. Kevin Owens is now a justified heel. You know, he's not real, but he's not really a heel though. He said it. I didn't want to do this. They made me do it, pretty much. Like, you know, so it's kind of telling that story here. And all the stories going on in WWE, it always leads back to the Bloodline. That's why I'm putting Kevin Owens in this, because I think we're going to see some crap in this match. I think that I don't know, dude. Like I said, I don't like the idea of this because somebody once again has to lose this match. And if I had to pick a team here, I'm picking the OG Bloodline to take it. They need the win. I mean, they've been getting their asses handed to them every single week on SmackDown. So they need the win, but at the same time, I mean, damn, dude, that's the problem with this. Because you have to beat one of the teams here. And, I mean, the Bloodline, Solo's Bloodline has been vicious up until the point when Roman came back. And then they've just been taking L after L. But, I mean, they beat him down, but I don't know. I'm going to go with OG Bloodline for this, but I do expect to see some kind of interference to get there. That's going to lead us to War Games.
Fair enough. I like the direction here. Jeff, what you got?
I think Roman Reigns and the Usos have taken enough ass whippings from this new bloodline that they're due for a dub. Especially with the newly reunited Usos.
Okay. Interesting. Rob, what you got?
I got a lot, so cut me off again if you need me to. But
go ahead, brother.
Disclaimer, I've said this on the show. I do not want to see KO, Cody, anyone like that in this War Games match. I know I'm jumping ahead here in Survivor Series. I like this Bloodline Civil War. You know, the only person who's not like blood that deserves to be there. One of the MVPs of long-term storytelling, one of the MVPs of this whole Bloodline storyline, Sami Zayn, has every right to be in that match. And it's enough said. I could go on and on about that. MVP, he's amazing. He had that conversation with Solo. Just want to point out, we're going to tell this story slowly, but we also got to get to Survivor Series at the end of November, I believe it is. So I agree with D in the fact that it's like, I don't know if I like this match. It feels a little too soon, but I get it because I think it's a little bit like, oh, we're almost done with October. Like, well, we got 20 something days till Survivor Series, so we need to do something here. And I like the idea of someone debuting for the new bloodline, if you will. Now answer this. Does War Games have to be 5-on-5? Can it be 4-on-4? It has to be 5-on-5.
Traditionally, it's 5-on-5.
So then we'll say it's 5-on-5. So someone debuts here, and then again, I don't want it to be Cody on the other side. I want it to be like, even if it's The Rock, you know, like it has to be someone that's in the bloodline. And that, to me, again, disclaimer, that includes Sami Zayn. So we'll see how these numbers work out. We'll see who's there, but I don't want Cody involved, even though it would make sense because there's a tie there. I don't want KO involved. I want this bloodline civil war just as pure as we possibly can. So here, for that reason, I don't think that this team of the three newly reunited Usos and Roman, which has been great. That hug moment was really, really well executed. The little backstages and the tension. It's like where you're like friends with someone, but like your friend's not friends with them. And it's like that really awkward encounter. They nailed that perfectly. So I thought that was great. but they need to build this slowly, but you can't be too slow because War Games is coming up. I'm sure they have it all thought out, but I don't see Roman and the new Usos winning this. This is technically a 4-on-3. I know it's a 3-on-3, a 6-man tag match, but this is technically a 4-on-3. The bloodline, the new bloodline always has interference. Someone could debut. They're going to lose here, and they're going to be like, why did we lose? Like, it's us. It's the Usos, main event Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and the real OTC tribal chief. Why are we losing here? Because we're not complete. We're not complete. We're not in our final form. We don't have Sammy, which I've already touched on, and we don't have our wise men. And that's what we need. And therefore, I think the new bloodline, as I'm calling them, under Solo Sikoa, win this match.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting. All right, to bring us home, I am going to say one of the two things are going to happen, or one of three things are going to happen. One, Cody is going to establish himself on the OG bloodline to help them because they do need that member, and we get a returning Hikuleo. Maybe something does happen in the Cody Gunther match. It just depends on where this match is placed. If it's the main event, then foul play is afoot. Something's going to happen. Something big is going to happen. If we get them in the main event, I do see a Hikuleo debuting. I do see something happening in the Cody Gunther match to where Cody has to pick a side. And I do think he's going to pick the OG bloodline. And that will lead us into Survivor Series. That'll set us up for Survivor Series. There's still a lot of unshakiness. There's still a lot of shakiness in the OG bloodline. Jay is not fully on board yet. So they have to work that kink out. Sami Zayn is not fully on board yet. I don't even think the wise man is going to be on the OG bloodline side. If we're just going to be real with it, I don't think he's going to choose them. I think he's going to choose the new bloodline. Because that new bloodline, I don't think is even headed by Solo Sikoa. We've seen The Rock acknowledge a tribal chief before. And the balance of power is ultimately who he's going to be acknowledging. We've seen him show up and not be too happy with Roman because he was with Cody. So I do think this kind of put him at odds with Roman Reigns. And he's been in the background negotiating with the new bloodline. Or he's had the wise man negotiating with the new bloodline. There's a reason we haven't seen those two particular people. So I do think the seeds have been planted to where we'll get a 5-on-5 and it'll be Roman, the Usos, Sammy, and Cody on one side. And on the other side, you probably get the new bloodline in Hikuleo. And the wise man and the Rock will choose their sides at Survivor Series.
See, I don't... Kevin Owens has to be in this match. From a storyline perspective that they're telling, Kevin Owens has to be in the match and he has to be on Solo's bloodline team. That's the only way this works. Because he has history there with everybody on that other team. He has history with Roman. He has history with Cody, and he has history with Sami Zayn. If that's the route they go with. Because it's nothing's confirmed. We're just all, speculation right now. But if you bring a Hikuleo in for Survivor Series, you got to debut Hikuleo at Crown Jewel. Otherwise, honestly, they should have debuted Hikuleo at Bad Blood. But Hikuleo should have already been here by now.
Yeah,
you're
right.
To have already established him. And really, honestly, Rod Bob earlier about War Games. In the early days of War Games, if I remember correctly, War Games was 5-on-5 with when Dusty created the match. The Horsemen and the Road Warriors. But WCW shortened it to 4-man team, so it was 4-on-4. Because I remember in '96, it was Team NWO. It was the NWO team with the fake Sting versus the WCW team with Sting. Yep. If you guys remember that. So you can go that route too, but I just think it makes more sense for it to be 5-on-5.
5-on-5, yeah.
You can continue those stories. But I think I said this last week too about I think the wise man is also going to side with Solo, for the mere fact that what's the reason why? Okay, well, you know what, Roman Reigns, you did not protect me. Number one. Number two, you just disappeared after WrestleMania. I had to hold the fort down. I begged you to come back. You would not come back. And then when you did come back, you came back to help Cody Rhodes. So,
yep,
I can see them doing all the twists and turns here. I think I've seen some people the other day say though that they think the bloodlines kind of jumped the shark. They I don't know. I just think I said this last week on the show, and I'm sticking to this. The bloodline is the NWO angle done correctly.
Agreed.
Because this is this is basically a rehash of the NWO Civil War that happened in WCW between NWO Hollywood and NWO Wolfpack, and we never had definitive endings to that. We just had two factions come together to form the NWO Elite, and that was done by March '99. So this storyline here has been going since what, 2021, SummerSlam 2021. So they're keeping it going, and they're never going to run out of Samoans. So
oh hell no.
That was, so shit. It's like the Hart family. So yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, guys, let's bring this home. Shameless plugs. Rob, go ahead and tell the people where they could find you, brother.
I love shameless plugs. You know that. If you guys have time, go on over to bcp-plus.plus.com. We have a lot of interviews with the stars of WWE, TNA, NXT, and of course, all of our friends up here in the Northeast independent scene. We love to wave that flag. We also have coverage of multiple NFL teams. Our Yankees coverage is game by game. I'm watching this one closely. It's getting down to the wire. I'm a little nervous, but we're doing some great stuff over there. Shout out Kelvin, who's doing amazing things with the UFL last season. Hopefully this season again. He's killing it. I'm just proud of everyone. So guys, just gonna go on over to bcp-plus.com. Check us out on YouTube at BCP Plus. We got a lot of good stuff for you. And Kelvin, I'm not worthy, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Thanks for coming on, man. Always a pleasure working with you, my guy. Jeff, what you got, brother? Tell the people where they can find you.
I got episode 4 of my USDN short series that just dropped a couple of hours ago before the show, covering New Comic Book Day for the week of 30 October. On top of that, you can find me almost on every social media platform on USDN podcast, except for TikTok. I don't get down with the tickety talk.
Cool, man. Also, thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on. I hope you guys have fun. To the fabulous one, bring us home. What you got, brother?
Well, pretty much nothing, man. Just I hope everybody out there has a very safe and happy Halloween. If you celebrate Halloween, I know there's people out there that don't do it, and I think you're fucking weird if you don't. But other than that, man, nothing. Just the whole usual shtick. Help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. It's a small little story. So last week, right? Someone posted in the neighborhood ring gap. They saw a Texas diamondback rattlesnake in the middle of the street. Sucker was just sitting there, just chilling. So yeah, help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered.
It's a weird way to say protect the animals, bro.
I'm telling you.
I love it.
That's the most Frank D thing ever, though.
Listen, I'm down with the Sith, so
good stuff, man. So,
I gotta say though, Rob, I'm digging the Red Ranger helmet in the back.
Oh, that's my guy, Jason, the OG, man.
Yeah, my guy was Tommy.
He's my number 2, man. Yeah. My buddy always gets mad because the Red Ranger comes with the shield sometimes, and he's like, no, like the Green Ranger has to have the shield. So
I got this thing here. Can't really see it all well, but
awesome, the Funko.
Yeah,
love it.
I got the dragon dagger back over here too. So
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm jealous of that.
Yeah, I'm jealous of it as well.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the No Gimmicks here on the DFPN. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, take care of each other. Enjoy what you want to enjoy. Peace.
And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmicks. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmicks. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmicks, gimmicks.